All right, we're doing it. You're listening to Those Not So Super Dudes, that place where we talk about any and all things comics. I am Jordan Smith.
I'm Alec McCann.
I'm Chris White.
And guys, we're here doing a holiday episode. Or did we do a holiday episode last year? I don't remember, honestly.
I don't remember either.
I don't
I
think
feel
so.
like there might have been like individual things, but we didn't even start doing that until like this year. So I have no idea.
Honestly, don't know either. I know we did like a best of 2022, which we'll have to do something similar for the end of the year. Because we did that one with Ian, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think there's much to talk about that was the best for Marvel. They were kind of a shitty year.
There was other stuff.
No, I know. I'm just saying Marvel had a real shitty year.
Is that a cigarette in your mouth?
Yeah.
Why?
Don't judge me.
I'm
Because-
judging you. Since when do you smoke?
Since I had a baby.
You've had multiple. So which one?
Yes.
I've just never seen a cigarette in your mouth, so it took me by surprise. Like most things.
Yeah, well,
I
don't-
That's what she said.
I don't smoke a
Yeah.
whole lot, but I'm working 2 jobs and I felt it last night because I came home close to 12. All my kids were asleep. And before I had this other job, I would come home and put the kids to bed. And then the baby would be in our bed. And he would normally just like have like a second wind and would jump all over us. And it was fun until it wasn't. Like at a certain point, you're like, oh man, I need to go to sleep, dude. You gotta chill. But
Right.
we found that we can get him to calm down by watching Jurassic Park. He loves it. He sat and watched the entire first movie. He watched most of The Lost World, but then we had to leave. And he watched all of Jurassic World. And now he's going through season by season that Camp Cretaceous on Netflix. He
Okay.
won't move from the
Yeah.
TV.
Nice.
He loves he pointed. Now he is at a point where he's starting to say words, but he's real behind on words, mainly because he knows he can just get what he wants by pointing.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and I know we're supposed to curb that, but he points at the dinosaurs and goes, huh, huh, like he wasn't expecting dinosaurs. He didn't know what to expect. He was just watching this grown-up movie, and then all of a sudden there's a long neck, and he said, "Rawr," and I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like
This
that.
is mine. So I miss getting to do that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah. That's fair. Huh. Well, there's a nice little story to open up the episode. Welcome to our holiday episode of the year, where we are going to talk about comics and movies and holiday cheer. And every now and again, there will be a special guest cameo peppered in throughout the episode. So enjoy that. And I'll be leaving links for everybody's stuff that participated. So
Only on the audio version, though.
only on the audio version. Yep. There will be a video version that'll just be us, just because all we have from them is audio, because that's all I asked for. So the first thing I kind of want to just ask you guys before we get into the whole comic side of it and everything is kind of just what I've been asking the other people to tell us, and just kind of tell me, you know, what your favorite thing about the holiday is. Like, what do you look forward to?
For me, the kids and I always try and catch Santa.
Okay.
So we set up a trap, or we set up a camera and watch Santa come in and either almost get caught in the trap or you know, he's just laying down presents. And then I eat the cookies, of course, because I'm fat and love cookies. But also I enjoy doing the elf, putting them in different positions. Like today, my baby has this octopus looking thing.
Okay.
So I put it on top of the TV and then had the elf riding it.
Oh, okay.
while Final Crisis, the audio drama, was playing for my children to go to sleep to.
Okay. Very nice. Yeah, that elf thing is pretty interesting. My sister Brana, she's doing it for Josie, my niece, and one of them was that the elf had shaved down the middle of her boyfriend's head, and I guess it didn't take much convincing to let her do it to him or whatever, and then just he had like that. It was kind of like in the Jim Carrey Grinch where they took the fucking razor right down the mayor's head.
Oh,
yeah, it was pretty. I was like, that's commitment. So
that is.
it can be really fun. Chris, what about you?
Haunted attractions in Halloween time, and I actually like to. I like to set this up.
Are we going on a journey? Where are we going? Oh, he disappeared.
Yep, he's gone. He's out the show. He's not allowed back in. Chris has been causing problems even before recording started. He is a problem. He's gone. He's just gone.
He was like, "Look, this is my favorite thing for the holiday."
Yep.
Boom.
I bet you right now he is not aware that he isn't connected and is still showing up.
I hope he's not aware. I think that's fucking hilarious.
Oh, let's see how long it takes him. I
Yeah,
bet he's like, oh shit, no. What happened? Oh,
Well,
man.
I will tell my favorite thing for the holiday. Of course, I look more forward to drinking eggnog more than anything. I fucking love eggnog.
That's
it's
because
like-
you're an alcoholic.
I don't even need to have alcohol in it. I just like eggnog.
I don't think I've ever had eggnog.
Really? It's
Yeah.
pretty good. Every year, like, because I know for a while I didn't like it all that much. And oh wait, Chris is back.
Oh, wait, Chris.
Buddy, where'd you go?
Hey, nice setup, man.
That was so nice. I enjoyed that tour so much.
Mhm.
Yeah, that.
What is that?
The little Christmas villages.
Oh,
Oh,
that's pretty cool. Okay.
are there
So
any
you
special?
set up a village every year?
Yeah,
Is it like the same village, or do you like get new stuff?
I get new stuff every now and again.
Okay. Hell yeah. Well, yeah, you went to go show us, and then you just disappeared, so we really didn't get a chance to see it.
Yeah, probably still showing us and doesn't realize that he's gone.
I was say, how long did it take you?
Like 30 seconds.
Okay.
Well,
I saw you guys go away, and it went quiet. I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Oh, no.
oh well, that I predicted the oh fuck thing.
Yeah, you did, and that's a good sign too when it goes real quiet because we're not quiet people.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, we're
I
usually
was just,
over
I
each
was just
other.
telling him my favorite part of the holiday is drinking eggnog. I love
yeah,
eggnog.
yeah, all the-
It doesn't have to be alcoholic. Granted, I have gone through quite a few bottles of it in the last month or so. But yeah, for a long time, not just me. Don't give me that look. Mostly me, but it's not just me.
Don't blame Jen for your problems. Face them.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, because I mean, Alec, you can even attest to it. Like I've never really been like a holiday Christmassy person. I had more cheer in me this year, but as the days have gone on, it's dwindled quite a bit. So I'm hoping to.
Well, look, okay, so
a little bit.
Christmas is very much a holiday for children. It's set up
Oh, yeah.
for children. They have a whole mythology of this fat elf breaking and entering their home and eating some of their food and leaving presents. It's a bizarre breaking and entering, but it's still, they believe this magic elf is just bringing them presents, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah, we're adults. We don't have magic anymore, unfortunately. That's why we love comic books so much.
It's true. It's true.
But-
That's where all the magic is now.
So when it gets closer, when you don't have like that sense of magic, it starts to feel like just any other day. Yes, you going through some sort of ritual of seeing your family and stuff, but it's hard to get a Christmas spirit when your Christmas spirit was crushed by, oh yeah, no, that's not real.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And then that's honestly, that's how society should mark the beginning of adulthood. The moment you're told it's time to put away these magical stories we've been filling your head with all your life is the moment you realize that's how the world works.
But that's so sad too.
Yeah.
Like, it's such an awful thing to the point where I'm like, what is even like? I get it, but I'm just like, it's so sad to view it like that.
Yeah.
But
It just makes
also
it disappointing.
it's one of those things where you're like, I don't like right now we're on the verge of our oldest, Ryan. He's 10 years old. He doesn't seem to give a crap about the elf, and he mentions Santa Claus less and less. At one point, he said that he didn't believe in Santa Claus, and I told Jules we need to have the talk with him because I don't want someone at school to be like, "You're so stupid. You believe in Santa Claus." I'm like, we need to have this talk with him. If he really doesn't believe, then we need to let him in on the joke so that he can help us make Christmas for the other two. You know?
Right. That's fair.
So we were talking to him and we said, "Do you really not believe Santa Claus exists?" He said, "No, I was just mad when I said that." And I was like, "Okay, all right." And he just walked away. So we're still not telling him, but at the same time, we're at this weird point where we're like, but should we tell him? Like,
Right.
do we need to tell him? Or do we let him keep being a kid? Because, they've both of her kids have been through the ringer, even before I came. Even before. I don't actually hurt my children, by the way. I would like everybody to know that I love them dearly. I know I talk a lot of smack about them, but they're my kids. And talking smack about children is great. Not socially, but, for a podcast, it's great.
Yeah.
But I genuinely, I don't want him to lose that sense of, wow, this is all coming together so well kind of thing,
Right.
Like, we're going to catch Santa. We're going to do it this year. I don't want him to lose that.
That's fair. I mean, me personally, I would let him just kind of be a kid as long as he possibly can. I mean, and as like somebody, especially as somebody that had to grow up really fast, I kind of wish I didn't have to. I mean, I learned a lot from those experiences, but I mean, there are parts of me that wish I could have been a kid longer.
Yeah.
So
I just finally got to be an adult.
Right.
Yep.
I'm still working my way there.
It's a new experience. I don't like it. I don't kind of wish I could go back to being 25 and not caring about much.
Right. Yeah. I think about those too sometimes. I actually I was watching the Bill Murray Christmas special last night, which I realized is something I've done since it came out in 2015. I watched it with Brown and Mike in Mike's basement area, and it's just something I've been doing now ever since. And I'm like, every time I watch it, I just think back to those days.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're just like Jules and I watch this one episode of a show called Evil. I don't know if either of you two.
I've seen Evil. Yeah.
So we'll watch a Christmas episode of Evil where do you know the episode where it's like da 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 da?
Not off the top of my head now.
All right, well, it's our favorite episode because of the song.
Okay.
The song goes, Santa got high, now everything is funny. His teeth are kind of fuzzy. And it just divulges into insanity from there. But it's so fun. It's such a fun song that we're like, we need to watch that episode before Christmas every year.
Okay. That's pretty cool. Yeah, no, I don't remember that. So we watched, because there's only like 2 or 3 seasons, I think.
Yeah, there's 3 seasons. I think they're getting ready to put out the 4th. I hope.
Okay. I thought it got canceled for some reason.
They just take a long time to put out the seasons.
The only thing with that show, because we really enjoyed that show when we were watching it, but the thing that got like Jen was that most of the episodes, there's no like resolution for whatever's happening. It's just kind of like, well, we investigated the thing and we either know what it is or know what it isn't. Now we're going to move on.
Well, that's sort of the point, is because it's becoming more about the characters' lives and less about the cases.
Yeah.
So,
which is fine. I have no problem with that.
I think the whole point is that when they come to the final end of the show, they'll give a definitive answer. I hope they give a definitive answer, because like a lot of that is like, if this is the world they live in, it's both equal parts awesome and terrifying.
Right. Yeah. Chris, what are you and Sarah have been doing for the holidays?
Working.
Just working? I get that.
Banging.
I've been playing the PS5.
Nice. What are you playing?
Right now, I'm going through Alan Wake 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen you post about that.
Yeah.
You've been going live on Twitch?
I did I think yesterday, the day before.
Day before?
I had to get new cables for my mics and stuff.
I got you. That's good. Yeah.
I am getting a PS5 around tax time just to get the Jurassic Park game.
About time.
I just played the PS5 for the first time over at Buddy's house. He let me come over and Spider-Man 2.
Now we can stream together.
There you go.
I have a PS4 already.
I do too.
We can't stream with that.
Probably not,
Yeah.
because it sucks. All right.
It does not. First of all, you all know that PS4 is leaps and bounds better than Resident Evil PlayStation 1.
Well, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's the next iteration.
I have no problem with my PS4. My PS4 is great.
You said it sucks.
I have it on right now. I got Christmas Lo-Fi Girl in the background for the cats, because they actually like lo-fi music.
The cats. Oh man, you need to have at least one child,
Nah.
because you're becoming a crazy cat person.
I have 2.
That's even worse.
How's that work?
I didn't make it a plural.
They're
Okay.
good boys.
Yeah, but look, you're married. That doesn't count.
How does that not? I don't understand your logic on this. We're getting very off track.
Yeah, we are getting very off track.
I'm saying it doesn't count because it doesn't help my point.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm ignoring evidence. Look at my face. Look at how I look. That's what my people do.
That's what my people do. On that note,
skip over
and
that
see,
one.
the thing is, I could be talking about Middle Easterns. I could be talking about Irish people. I could be talking about Italians. You don't know.
don't know. Yes.
They all lie.
Everybody lies.
Well, think about it. Italians with the Catholic Church. Right? I mean, just from the get-go, they are the biggest institutional liars of the planet.
Well,
Jesus,
as are most religious people in general.
Huh?
As are most religious people in general.
Yeah, well, that gets me to the other portion where most Middle Easterns are Muslims. And they let that lead them astray from normal thinking. And the Irish, they're drunks. I don't even have to go further than that.
Yeah, Chris is like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Representing right over here.
And see, and this is why we don't, you might want to edit this part, but we don't have to edit these things because it's literally how people think.
Right. That's
It's
fine.
not. It's a cultural thing versus a racial thing.
How do we
Right?
always get here?
Because racial jokes are funny and people need to accept it.
Well,
They are.
I'm more interested in the comics you guys have been reading.
All right, fine. Pretend like I said something awful. All right.
So, all right, Alec, what do you got for us?
All right. So I texted you guys and said to look for the best storyline and the worst storyline.
Mhm.
While looking it up, I came across some good ones. Superman. I found where the meme was that Superman was like, I can't believe you guys know Santa Claus. Like, I found that comic, and it was funny.
It was Santa Claus.
Which the ending felt like I was watching a Tim Allen Christmas movie ending, you know?
Okay.
But that didn't hit the Christmas spot for me. I don't know what it was, but it didn't hit the Christmas spot. And then I found a comic called The Batman Adventures Continued.
Okay.
It was the animated comic, or I'm not animated comic, the animated show's comic.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? I've been missing Kevin Conroy. I can picture his voice when I read this. Let's get into it. And I got into it, and I'm almost certain it was already an episode, like not on our show, but on the Batman animated show.
Right.
But it was the most heart-wrenching story. And I said, this does it, because this is not a Batman story. This is a son and husband story. So it's called White Christmas.
Okay.
Gotham is being bombarded by a blizzard.
Mhm.
Batman figures out, okay, this is probably Victor Freeze. So he goes through the entire town, all through the city looking for Freeze. Can't fight him. Beats up a bunch of bad guys. Like, it's just carnage for Batman because it's snowing. He is not a fan of the white. He can't hide.
Yeah.
It's hard to hide when everything's white.
Right.
So he's like, I'm gonna beat everybody up. And then he finds Victor Freeze in the cemetery.
Okay.
And he starts fighting him. Victor Freeze lands a hit on him, and he lands in front of his parents' graves and knocks over some of their flowers. So he fixes their arrangement and gets back up to find Victor, who is over at his wife's grave.
Right.
And Batman's like, you know what? Instead of fighting this dude, I know his story. Why don't I find out what's going on? So he said, what are you doing? And it's Christmas Eve, and Victor said that he and his wife were married on Christmas Eve. And he said, I couldn't bear to have another Christmas Eve go by where there wasn't snow for her. And I was like, oh my God.
That's a
How
good story.
does a kid's cartoon comic make me want to cry? So Batman and him just hang out. They don't speak or anything. It's kind of like when Batman found Ace in Justice League. I think it was Ace, right?
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't say anything. They don't speak. They just mourn in silence together. And then Victor Freeze willingly goes back with Batman to Arkham.
Okay.
And I was like, this is exactly like you were talking about, as the days come by closer and closer, the less you feel it, that kind of thing. And we talked a little bit about that. That exemplified exactly what Christmas should be about, not immediately jumping towards the most confrontational approach. There we go. Approach. Instead, try and it's about. I mean, think about World War II when Christmas happened. Germans and the Allied forces laid their guns down to have Christmas.
Right.
Like it's supposed to be a time of peace and I think that's where adults have to find their Christmas spirit is how do I make peace in my life? Right. I know that sounds real hoity-toity, especially coming from me, but I think that because I find Christmas spirit in watching my kids be happy, but I also have an easier time watching my kids be happy when I'm not thinking, oh, this should have been this way instead of this. If you've got something that you wish could have been like something with someone else that isn't too far gone, obviously, I don't want you to stir the pot, but if you got something, make peace with it.
Right.
You know, either get it out of your life or mend what needs to be mended. Because, you know, everybody knows arguments have two sides and fights have two sides. And strangely enough, I know I've made a lot of episodes about the life lessons that comics have taught me, but there you go. Don't always jump to a fight.
Yeah.
You gotta put in your Christmas spirit there, Alec.
I know. Now, Chris.
Yeah.
I found the worst storyline of a Christmas comic that has ever been.
Oh, geez.
There wasn't much of a story.
There wasn't much of
but
a
it was penned. It was written by the Ultimate Warrior.
Are you serious?
I am not joking. It's called the Warrior Xmas. My screen is going to disappear, but I wrote up a little summary just for you. All right, you'll be able to hear me, I think.
Okay.
Hold on. You say...
What?
Speaking of Ultimate Warrior, you say that. Hold on.
He probably has it.
Well, there were... Okay, so I had to find out more about this because...
This is my newest pop that I just got.
Is it Ultimate Warrior? Oh my god.
So, this is called the Warrior Xmas. It's one of 5 comics that the Ultimate Warrior wrote after retiring from wrestling.
Okay.
It has no sense of cohesion.
Oh, the Ultimate Warrior did not have that.
It's as if someone was on a coke bend and just wrote down the things that they wish they could do to Santa Claus. By the way, the Ultimate Warrior really wants to sexually assault Santa Claus and his reindeer.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
He was doing like some seriously sadistic things to Santa Claus, all because he was trying to get his hands on some nude Barbies.
Oh no.
He fought hobos. He fought a giant purple octopus.
I need to read this.
And I was like, I have to tell Chris about this because there's no way he is even aware of this, let alone that there are 5 of them. And I thought, what better thing to let you know than a wrestler that I know you wouldn't have seen me coming out with to tell you about, had done terrible holiday specials in comic form.
That's worse than Randy Man Savage with his rap career.
Oh man, it It was a giant mess and frightening. Like if he really, I mean, he was doing hardcore shit to these reindeer. He was fucking them up.
I mean, he was doing some hardcore drugs.
He was catching charges every panel.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go down the list that I've found that are the weird Christmas stories for Marvel and DC. Santa is wanted, dead or alive. Marvel, Santa Claus is a mutant.
That sounds all right. Yeah.
Santa Claus joins the Justice League.
He does what?
Join the Justice League.
Santa joins the Justice League?
It gets worse.
It gets
Hitler kidnapped Santa Claus.
Oh yes, it's not
That
Christmas
sounds-
without the Jew hater.
Awesome.
the man who murdered Santa Claus.
Oh my god!
Santa Claus helps She-Hulk catch a killer.
What did you look at this list and say it's probably this dude here?
Yeah, a Batman Christmas Carol. Santa versus the Hulk, a match made in malls.
Oh my god.
Santa Baby Batman and Lobo Paramilitary Christmas Special.
Wait. Is this a Santa baby Batman or a Santa baby Batman and Lobo? Or is it that all three of them are babies? Because I'm reading that if that's the case.
Santa Baby Batman looks like is Batman is Santa.
Batman is Santa.
Well, then who's baby?
I don't know.
Or is it like Santa Baby, like the song?
I was just reading you. I think it's like the song.
Okay.
Oh. Well, now I want someone to make a Santa baby, Batman baby, and Lobo baby comic. I think that would be great.
It would just straight up be Baby Lobo and Baby Batman trying to deliver presents on Baby Lobo's motorcycle. Just flying around and shit.
Oh, man. But think of all the hijinks they could get into.
Oh, it would be great. I think that would be hilarious.
Speaking of, did everybody get to see the Merry Little Batman?
I have not, but I'm going to, so that you guys are more than welcome to tell me about it.
It's
for kids.
Yeah, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm the one that's got to tell you about it.
No. I'm just saying. As for my, it's for kids. It's not really my bag, but I can see it as a catapult to younger kids going into Batman.
It's a cute.
It's good for younger kids to be getting into Batman. You know what I'm saying?
It looks like a much lighter side to Damian that
Oh
never
yeah,
before as
super much lighter.
book
Oh
fans.
jeez.
Definitely a different character. But
It just rubbed me the wrong way.
had Damian been that way in the comics, I probably would have enjoyed him more because I enjoyed that little shit.
I like
he was
of the trailer. I can only speak from what I saw from the trailer, but I really enjoy. First of all, the animation looks great. I think it looks fun. I like
it's so fun.
Damian's kind of wholesomeness and wanting to be a lot like his dad.
Yeah.
Which isn't too far off from kind of how he is anyway, except he would rather fight his for it, kill him for it. But
he'd much rather kill someone for something. He'd be like, like even when he was grown up in the looks to the future that I think it was the New 52 gave us for Damian Wayne, he was like, I only don't kill because my father told me I couldn't. Like, that's not what he wanted you to learn. He wanted you to just not kill.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't interested in you doing it because he told you not to. He wanted you to feel that you shouldn't kill.
Right.
But that's impossible to try and breed into someone that was an assassin forever.
True. Yeah. Yeah. That's very true. So for me, and what I have, I found probably not the best comic book storyline, but one of my favorites. and definitely a worse one. For the best one that I actually went to go grab it, it's an Archie horror comic, which I actually talked about, I think, in an episode called Happy Horror Days. Came out last year, and it's like a compilation of like 3 different stories. And
Is it like? Can you hold it up closer? Is it like Archie's Weird Mysteries that they used to have when we were kids?
The Archer. It's the Archie horror side of Archie comics. So they've got like their regular stuff, and they have the Archie horror side where you have Jughead the Hunger and Vampironica, and of course like the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina and stuff like that.
I loved growing up. There was a tape I had. It was, they totally ripped off Buffy, but it was Archie fighting vampires. And then after that one, either after that one or before that one, was the Attack of the Potatoes, where Archie, Jughead, and the gang had to fight against alien potatoes that were trying to take over the world. So they microwaved them with a satellite and turned them into fries. It was
Nice.
awesome.
That's probably where all this begun. They were like, what if we did something like that, but made it just much more gory? It's like,
I remember the McDonald's cassette tapes.
They did what Mindy Kaling did and said, why don't we make Scooby-Doo but take out the dog?
Yeah, and just do Velma. I haven't watched that, but I didn't hear great things.
No, I heard terrible things, and I was already not interested in it because of the fact that Scooby wasn't there.
Yeah, Scooby and Shaggy are the whole reason to watch that, to watch anything Scooby-Doo related.
And like the whole thing seemed to be, it seemed to be about wokeness. Like, like anything that they could put in there that was about what we call woke culture, they put into the show. I mean, I didn't read one single thing that made me want to watch this show at all.
Right.
Like, you could have been like, well, Velma and Daphne get it on. I don't care. Where's the fucking dog?
Right.
I can't get past that these motherfuckers are solving mysteries without their goddamn dog.
Right.
Yeah. Couldn't get
the
past
dog is integral. They wouldn't solve half the mysteries they solve if that dog didn't fuck up.
Right.
Scooby Snack is on the way, motherfuckers.
Shaggy fucked up too. So it was both of them.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's true. But again, Shaggy and Scooby, I mean, they went on to have a successful career after Scooby-Doo stopped.
Well, they
had to put fucking Scrappy in it, but who cares?
Yeah, which I mean, Scrappy's fine. I mean, he's not my favorite, but that like Shaggy and Scooby were so integral to it that they got their own like spin-off movies and stuff.
Yeah,
like none of them did.
Yeah, I'm not watching. So for Velma, for Mindy Kaling to be like, I'm just going to take the dog out. Why? I don't want to watch Josie and the Pussycats. All right, I don't want to watch that. That would have, if that had been an integral part of Hanna-Barbera's culture, it'd still be around. Scooby-Doo has lasting power. Why? Because he's a fucking dog. Anyway, what was the other comic?
So the worst one I have it pulled up here. I found it under Screen Rant's 15 most what the fuck Christmas comics. And so there's one called Sultry Teenage Soup. I'm sorry. Thought you could forget. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's not what it's called.
I'm sorry. Did you say something about sultry teens?
No. Well, yes, but that's not what it's about.
Oh.
Apparently there's a small comic company called Solson Comics. They released hits such as Sultry Teenage Super Foxes and Reagan's Raiders. I don't really know what the fuck those are.
I want to read Reagan's Raiders. I bet that is fun.
I'm sure.
Not going to read the Sultry Teens thing because I'm fairly certain that's illegal.
With that. So this sounds really good. It could be a really good concept, but so this one is called Samurai Santa. I'm going to just read off to you what it says here. Starts off as a department store Santa gets wasted, manager is tasked with finding another employee to fill in. So someone recommends asking the new guy behind the Jap robot counter, also known as Sam. He's more than happy to turn in the kimono he oddly wears to work for the big red suit. After listening to underprivileged kids talk about what they want for Christmas, Sam decides that what they really need aren't toys, but more religion. So he starts passing out pseudo Bibles.
What?
Pseudo Bibles.
Pseudo Bibles. This pisses off the store manager, so he dresses up as Santa and tries to kill Sam with a crossbow. Sam takes him out with the katana he's been hiding in the suit all along, and then quits, fed up with consumerism ruining the true meaning of Christmas. In the end, it's loosely implied that Sam was Jesus the entire time. A samurai Santa Jesus, how could you mess that up? Come on.
What?
Like, what
That is way better than the Warrior Xmas. Oh my god.
It is, but what the fuck, dude?
Oh my god.
It sounds like it could be great, but
can we find that comic?
sounds. I can try to find it.
I want to find that comic and see
It's
if we
called
can turn
Samurai
that into
Santa.
an audio play for Christmas.
It's called Samurai Santa from Solson Comics.
Okay, so here's what we need to do. We need to find it. We need to divvy up parts, and we need to record this shit.
Yes.
All right? Because there is
done.
no way Santa Samurai Jesus needs or doesn't need an adaptation. I need to hear just, it sounds like glorious holiday 80s cheese.
It sounds like something I'm kind of trying to write already.
Uh-oh. You're trying to write a
Uh-oh.
Samurai Jesus?
I mean, it's not really like a samurai. It's my Witness Jehovah story mostly, but nothing to do with Santa or samurais.
You better be careful. They'll come after you.
I know.
They'll Jehovah your ass.
Them witnesses of Jehovah.
Sons of bitches.
They spell Jehovah wrong, by the way. I just would like everyone to know that in Latin, Jehovah is spelled with an I.
Ah.
I learned that from Indiana Jones.
Ah. Okay. Fair enough.
So they want to be technical.
Or was Indiana Jones the one that was wrong?
I don't know Indiana Jones.
So I don't have to go into detail about these few stories in this Happy Holidays thing, but I just want to show you guys a few panels. Here's Jughead the Hunger. He basically eats Krampus. That's him eating Krampus.
Hell yeah.
Why
That's
is Jughead eating someone?
He's eating Krampus because Krampus.
He gets his
There's in the second story is about like this giant Yule. He's known as the Yule Cat. That basically stalks the town, hunting those who have not received new clothing for Christmas. So he
we did a thing on the Yule Cat for Christmas
I'll show you
this year for our episodes on Ghosted.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well,
We also did
Cheryl. Yep.
We also did an episode on Krampus last year called Christmas Penis, in which I inferred that Krampus went around smacking children with his dick because they were bad.
Right.
And then he, of course, uses it as a compass. And
Okay.
yeah,
I did not know.
It was fun. It was fun.
I
It
don't,
was fun.
I don't like that very much.
I love messing with Krampus stories because it's an old goat demon going around and just whipping children because their parents won't do it. Like that's all it is. He might steal you.
And in the third story here, it's Reggie basically getting into a fight with his girlfriend. This sprite or whatever, this sugar plum fairy, hears him say he just wants a little like Christmas cheer. So she grants it, but he uses it, for his own gain, meeting a beautiful woman or something like that he brings home for Christmas. And it's just like, that'll keep my parents off my back for a while. And he's like, unless you'd be down for some fun or whatever. And she's like, yeah. And she like takes her fucking like hat off, and she like her body just like rips in half, and she is the Sugar Plum Fairy and shit. Like there's her like ripping her own fucking body in half. And then she becomes like the Sugar Plum Fairy. And then like the next day, his girlfriend, I think it's Midge, decides to forgive him or whatever, and then finds him mutilated and turned into a snowman. His guts just kind of laying there in the snow.
Wait, so let me get this right. Reggie,
Yeah.
with magical Christmas powers.
Well, he doesn't have them. A Sugar Plum Fairy overheard him and granted him his wish.
Right,
But
but he gets magical Christmas powers because of it, right? Like that's
No, he gets they grant his wish of holiday cheer essentially, and for him that was meeting another beautiful woman and bringing her home to meet his parents, so his parents would not bug him about not having a girlfriend or a wife or whatever.
But he says something about her being down for fun.
Well, he said that that'll keep his parents' off his back for a while, and he's like, and I can drop you off at home unless you'd be down for some fun. And she's like, yeah, and that's when she rips herself in half, shows him that she's a fucking Sugar Plum Fairy, and then mutilates him and turns him into a fucking snowman.
But why do that? Why grant him a Christmas wish and then kill him?
Because he used it for selfish reasons.
It's rude.
I'm just telling you what the story is.
Do I that's like me getting mad at my children for playing a video game that I gave them.
To be fair, they are kids. Reggie is not.
Okay, that'd be like me being mad that I gave someone a car and they're actually driving it. How dare you?
Well, you gave them the car.
She gave him cheer.
Yeah, she thought what he was gonna use to give other people cheer, but he used it for himself.
Then that's on her, man.
Now it's on him because now he's dead.
See, and that's a classic case of I'm stronger than you, so I'm right.
I didn't write the damn thing. I'm just telling you what the
I didn't write it.
I'm disappointed in you, Jordan. I am disappointed in you. How dare you?
I think they're fun stories. I love the Archie horror stuff. They get crazy. But I mostly got into it for the Jughead the Hunger thing because it's cool that he can turn into a werewolf.
Okay, here we go. If you have not seen Godzilla -1, do not listen past this point.
If you have not seen it,
If
turn
you
it off.
have,
Go
and
see it.
you wish to see it, don't listen.
Don't listen.
Don't listen.
At that point, we wish you a happy holiday, and then come back and then continue the episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't listen.
Don't.
All right.
All right, here we go. What?
Oh my God.
Holy balls. First of all, the first Godzilla movie I ever saw was the Raymond Burr American version of the original Godzilla.
I feel like
first one
most people. I mean, a lot of people didn't really start off with the original like Japanese stuff.
Well, no, that was the original Japanese. It just they did what -0 did, or -1 did, when they released it into America. They released the original Godzilla into America, but they dubbed it and put Raymond Burr into some scenes to make it appeal to Americans.
Okay.
If they hadn't have done that, Godzilla probably wouldn't be as big over here
As it is over there.
as it is over there.
That makes sense.
The director
But
was
from
like,
but from that moment that I saw that movie, I was hooked. I was like, this is a giant dinosaur with spikes coming out of its body and breathing fire. Yes.
Sign me up. All right, let me
them people like ants. Do it.
Dude, so Jen and I went to see this movie. We just saw it Tuesday. And I was like, look, we're going to this thing. I'm eating part of an edible because I just want to be fully immersed in this thing.
ooh,
And God. I was locked, dude. I couldn't look away. I couldn't, like, it was the most magnificent thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
At that point in time in my life, I was like, there's nothing greater than what is happening right in front of me right now.
I thought, okay, so I don't like Shin Godzilla as a Godzilla movie.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen it.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, no. But I know of it, and that the director, we might have even talked about this, the director took inspiration from Shin Godzilla for Godzilla -1.
Yeah. I don't like it because the design of Godzilla is, and not even like the way he looks. When he fires his atomic breath, his jaw splits like the vampire in Blade 2.
Oh, yeah.
And it comes out as a laser. And then it comes out of his tail. That's dumb.
That was weird.
I was like, that is not what I want to see in Godzilla. It was bad enough I had to see him roll around as a tadpole. Like,
fair enough.
When I see Godzilla, I want to be immensely impressed at the fact that I can't do anything against this creature.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to look up and see some inbred looking fish frog that can split his jaw, and this Godzilla ate people.
Oh my God, yeah. He ate, dude. Okay, so like the movement of him alone, I was floored. I was not expecting him to move the way he did. That first, like when he first shows up and everything. But then of course I'm looking at him, I'm like, he looks kind of small, like in comparatively. And then of course they address that the second time he comes around, which I was happy.
And it was, and the way he, like you said, the way he moves was fluid. The CGI and stuff, the way they did the CGI and stuff was on point. Like this movie was a masterpiece.
His design was really well done. I will say I couldn't help but laugh every time they like focused up on his face because it just looked like he was smiling the entire time.
Yeah,
which I mean was part of the original design, and I know that's how he used to look anyway.
Have you ever seen what an onagi looks like in Japanese culture?
I have not.
Look it up right now.
Well, I'm using stuff to record. Actually, no, I'm on a computer. What the fuck am I talking about?
I was going to say, can't you like pop open another tab or you can look on your phone?
Unagi?
Yeah, O-N.
That's eel, man.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, isn't an unagi eel?
No,
Didn't Friends teach us that?
I forgot about that. That's
you can't Japanese.
It's a Japanese ogre.
Oh,
Japanese.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen them.
It's a Japanese ogre. Their faces are very.
It's just an oni.
Oni. Yeah, their faces are really broad. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of the entire time they closed up on his face. It's like, what if this is where they are getting those legends? What if they've seen the face of Godzilla and they're like, that's a terrifying creature?
Yeah.
And they're splicing that face into Japanese culture. Because I was looking at it, I was like, that has to have some inspiration from that.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Oni are terrifying creatures. So I mean, just looking at his face, I was like, this is too fucking funny to me.
I've been watching Godzilla for a very long time. Did the Heisa films or the Heisa films? Sorry. The ridiculous Godzilla that can fly with his atomic breath and his tail, and he does his dances.
Yeah.
Been there when Godzilla returns.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, that's in the same era. But then Godzilla returns. He comes back and he's a little more menacing. They've got that serious tone coming back into it. And then towards the end, you have Final Wars and Godzilla 2000, where he's that he's just that jacked dinosaur looking dude with the magenta spines. My favorite Godzilla movie until now was Godzilla versus Destroyer because it had
Same as me.
it's such a good, like, you don't, again, even through all that, they tried and tried to make an emotional Godzilla movie.
Right.
And they never could nail it. Like, they either tried the emotion on the people's side and it was just ridiculous, or they tried, like, it had nothing to do with the story, like it's a love interest and all this.
Right.
Had nothing to do with the story. Or they tried to get the seriousness on Godzilla, or the drama on Godzilla's side, and he's a giant lizard.
Yeah.
But Godzilla versus Destroyer, you actually had a pretty bitter moment that Godzilla's kid dies.
Right.
And then Godzilla is going nuclear. So as he's fighting Destroyer, he's dying. Like, it's not like Godzilla King of the Monsters. This nuclear meltdown that's happening in him is killing him.
Yeah.
So at the end of the movie, he dies after killing Destroyer, and then you see the young baby Godzilla that looked like it died pop up in the background, and it's now the new Godzilla. That kind of setup, right?
Yeah.
That was an emotion. Like, I didn't cry or anything, but I felt the emotion. That was like the one time. That's why it's my favorite. They nailed that aspect. How important Godzilla is to fans. If we see him die, we're going to feel that.
For sure.
Yeah.
I agree. And that's what I praised about this movie too, was that it gave that human connection and I don't know, that emotion that, like, that I feel like the American versions of them have really been lacking. Like, you don't really feel, I don't know, a connection between everything. And I think this was the perfect storyline for something like this.
Well, okay, so here's how I view it. The Godzilla -1 and to an extent, I can't even not give it credit, and Shin Godzilla, both on the Japanese side are very much the we're going to be serious kind of thing, whereas the is it Legendary?
Yeah.
The Legendary Pictures is more of like the Tim Burton Batman world, where we're going to tell fun stories, we're going to do fun things. Eventually, you might see, bat nips. But everybody's upset about this pink Godzilla. Who the fuck cares?
I'm not upset about it. I think it looks cool.
I think it's awesome. And it's not like he had fucking magenta. Last time he was in Japan before Shin, he was magenta. What are you worried about?
Right.
And I didn't see anybody throwing bones at Toriyama for making Goku black turn pink. What are you doing? What are you upset about? No one was like, why is he blue? Like,
people just want an excuse to be upset about something.
Exactly.
I've just come to realize it's just all it is.
But that's what I'm saying.
You can never be happy about anything.
You can't compare the two universes because of the fact that they're different.
They are
in function. One is meant to call back to what Japan was going through, and again, Japan has always had a bad time connecting human drama to Godzilla. That's always been the problem. This movie was exploring things that we haven't thought about because we weren't a part of it.
Right.
We weren't a part of the Nagasaki and Hiroshima bombing. We had nothing to do with that.
Right.
We're so far removed from it. Our parents don't even remember it.
Right.
Our grandparents are either on the edge of remembering it or it's not there.
Right.
So to have a movie bring to your mind, okay, not only did we bomb these people, which again, time of war, and they did attack us first. I'm not negating the fact that we were in a war, but we bombed the manliness out of an entire generation.
Right.
Like as soon as we bombed them, they started making cartoons. Like they're like, we can't handle war. Let's try culture. Let's try pop culture. Let's do that. So to find out that not only did we bomb them, but we were regularly air raiding them, I was like, man, that is, and it's at the end of the war too. It's kick a dog while it's
like right after. Yeah. And they touch on that too. They were just like, look, we weren't even like prepared for war. We're not nearly prepared enough to go up against whatever the fuck this thing is.
Yeah. And I think the fact that it connected the war, which is what Godzilla always was. That's why this movie works so well. It's not about, like, Shin Godzilla was about how inept the government was when all the major disasters happened there in Japan. They were like, oh, they suck. And that's what Shin Godzilla was about. This movie was legit what Godzilla was about. The first movie was about the fact that they have just come back from nuclear devastation, and now they have a nuclear walking monster trying to kill them all. Yeah. And that's what this movie was. And that's why it worked so well, is because it pointed back to what is Godzilla. He's a force of nature that we cannot stop. But if we do not stop it, we have no country.
Right.
It's all an allegory for what they went through during World War II, or at the tail end of World War II.
At the tail end, yeah. Yeah. And I thoroughly enjoyed that. I also just really enjoyed learning, and I believe his name was Kochi, the main.
Yeah.
Kochi.
Yeah.
And just learning about like him and his whole thing of being a kamikaze pilot and just not going through with it, and then kind of losing his mind where he's just like, am I actually alive or did I die? Did I actually complete my mission? And then there at the end, like realizing that there's a part of him that still wants to live.
There's a real interesting aspect we don't often see in movies of survivor's guilt. And that was a very, very accurate representation of what that looks like for them.
Absolutely.
Because his entire thing was, if I hadn't have stopped, Godzilla wouldn't have come.
Right.
Like, he felt like he was the reason those people were still there, even though they would have been there either way. And he didn't do anything.
His brain worked. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not. Yeah, that's exactly right.
But also, it didn't help that one maintenance guy that survived on the island was just like, had you completed your mission, these men wouldn't be dead.
Yeah, but that wasn't true. He was just
no, that's not true. I mean, he was just mad.
Yeah,
but that is also like, for anybody that was sitting there going, I don't understand, why is he so upset?
It's that a Japanese culture thing.
Immediately jumped out. Well, yeah, because when he immediately came home, that woman was like, I lost my 3 kids, all because you couldn't die in the war. Like, I was like, man, I know she needs someone to blame, but man, that is harsh. It is, because one kamikaze pilot does not make that much of a difference. In fact, they didn't make any difference. They just pissed us off.
Yeah, it was like one part Godzilla, one part war movie.
Yeah. But it was so, the way it was structured, without Godzilla, it's just a drama about a dude trying to live his life.
Yeah.
But there's no conflict, no resolution. Like, there's nothing. Godzilla pushed the character forward. Didn't even push that's what I like about it. It didn't push society forward. Like, they didn't come up with some expert plan to kill Godzilla. They were legit like, I don't know if this will work.
Yeah. Like, can you guarantee this? And he's like, no. We've never gone up against anything like this before.
First of all, it's a giant dinosaur that seemingly can heal himself.
Like, all I can do is provide the science and like what should happen, and just kind of go from there. Also, which comes down to when they were releasing those fucking mines on him, and the one blew up in his fucking mouth, and he regenerated the way he did. Did anybody else freak out? Because I freaked the fuck out.
Yeah,
I
that
was-
was pretty amazing.
I was like, oh man, you never get to see the regeneration in action.
No.
They always talk about the G cells that Godzilla has,
Mhm.
but it never like is shown. It's just like, oh, how's he back? G cells. Okay.
Okay.
But this time you're like, oh, that's how he came back. He grew an entire piece of his mouth back.
Yeah. The fucking eye rolling. It happened so fast that like it caught me off guard because I wasn't expecting to see that.
That's right.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty sweet.
Also, for the viewers at home for this episode, raise your hand if this movie made you cry. Yeah, that's right. Hand up.
I was like, you better put your fucking hand up,
A
dude.
Godzilla movie made
Yeah.
me cry.
So especially, and this was one thing that I needed to be separate from everything else. Just the way they did his atomic breath was the most magnificent thing.
Oh my
I could have
God.
asked for. It was hands down probably one of the best things, if not the best thing about this film.
We watched a nuclear blast. That's
Yes.
what it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was so well done.
Oh my God. Because the explosion alone and taking out everybody, and of course when you think we just talked about this, what was her name? Norki?
Noriko?
Noriko? Noriko.
Norky?
Norki. Noriko, yeah. She like pushes Kochi out of the way and then she just fucking disappears. But then when it basically kind of imploded at the same time, I was sitting there and I just know my mouth was open for a good like 15
I
minutes.
thought they were going to A-train her.
When they sucked everything back to the
Yeah.
explosion point, I was like,
That was-
"Ooh, man,
that
that
was
is
deep.
some accurate and devastating." Like, if that's really what it looked like inside of that thing, I honestly feel bad for Japan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And
I also think it's a good deterrent to not do it to us again. You know,
Yes.
like, don't come over here.
don't.
We will. But at the same time, they did drop a bunch of 2 bombs on people that didn't even know it was happening.
Right.
But
Yeah.
don't come over here.
Don't come over here.
Stay off our porch. Get off
It's
my
like-
lawn.
It's like
I know they were actually
it's
bombing
that-
us. I'm not making light of that.
right. Well, no, my first thought was that episode of Friends when Joey's in Vegas and Chandler was like, I got to come down there to make it up to him. He's like, that's great. I forgive you. We're best buds. Don't come down here.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah, don't come down here.
go down
Well,
here.
when they said the US can't help, I was like, yeah, the US has no idea what to do. They tried to bomb that thing and it got bigger. What are you doing?
Yeah. They would just do the same thing. Like, all right, cool. We're going to nuke it.
Oh,
Everybody leave.
have you I guess you probably haven't been watching the Monarch series that they've been putting out.
No, I don't have Apple TV Plus. It's like the one streaming service I don't have. And honestly, I want to watch it, but
thing on there.
Lavidia.ch.
you both talked at the same time. I didn't hear a word you said.
You go first.
It's the only thing good on there. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. I watch it on Lavidia.ch.
Okay.
And they just had their Godzilla episode. He was barely in it, but it was still very cool.
Okay.
They are on top of him, and they don't know it. He's part of, like, he's been laying
He's
in
part
the
of
desert.
like the Earth.
Yeah, he's been laying in the desert for so long. He got covered up with dirt and stuff, and so when they're standing, they're like, and then they hear, and they're like, "Oh my God, are we on him?"
That's great. I love that.
But it's actually really good. I was expecting a whole bunch of like,
Bureaucratic shit.
yeah, because I was like, how are you making a monster TV show about humans without really
Having the
any?
monsters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they were like, no, we're gonna have this. We're gonna make the team that you thought was the good guys. We're gonna make them really bad,
Oh, okay.
and it's pretty fun. I've enjoyed it immensely. Do you think somehow Noriko got some of Godzilla's DNA? Because she shouldn't have survived that.
I don't know. I was honestly surprised she was still alive. I fully expected her to be dead. I honestly don't know.
They were talking about the fact that they were gathering samples from.
They did from the explosion and shit.
And they said they were going to do a sequel. I wonder if that's going to have something to do with it. Like,
they could have done like regenerative breakthrough samples or something.
Yeah,
that's probably what I'm saying. They like grabbed up to see if they could, because I mean, he was willing to fly a plane into a giant dragon's mouth. Also, I just loved that movie so much.
Yeah,
I can't believe it made me cry. It made me feel stuff.
It did.
I didn't even care that I had to read most of the movie.
Oh, I don't care about that at all. It didn't bother me in the slightest. I watched most shit anyway.
Sometimes it bothers me because I want to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at you can be like, how slow of a reader are you? I just like to see what's going on. Like, I like to, like,
Jen did that too. Like, she doesn't like subtitles that much. For that same reason.
I like subtitles at night because when I'm watching something, if Jules is asleep, I have to turn it real low.
Same.
And typically, I don't know what the phenomenon is. It has to be a real thing. But when the subtitle is on, I swear to God, I can hear at like 12. Like at the volume number 12, I can hear perfectly what's being said.
I have mine down to 7. And generally, I mean, granted, I'm usually watching stuff I watch a million times over. So Psych, Friends, New Girl, shit like that. And I'm like, I'm reading the subtitles and I can hear everybody's voice. But I don't know if that's because I can hear it or if I know their voices so well that I can just hear it in my head.
I think what it is that we, like, when we watch stuff like that, if we were able to like really focus up on it, and then it's like, okay, I can hear what they're saying. I've missed one word. Look down. Oh, that's the word. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Chris, you got a subtitle thing?
Yeah, I watch anime all the time.
Anime?
Yeah. He watches them Japanimes.
Fair enough.
I thought were you about to call them Japanese cartoons? Because that's okay. We won't blame you for that.
No,
that is what they are.
That's exactly what
that is what they are. Yeah.
No, you remember? I remember this one time I was in, I think Walmart with David and oh no, I feel so bad. I've forgotten his name.
David?
No, it's one of Sarah's brother, and then Damon. That's what it was. Which is they're Sarah's friends, and they were talking about anime, and I said, they asked me if I watched any. I said, well, I haven't watched too much. I watched Dragon Ball Z, and they said that's a cartoon. And I was like, it looks the same as your fucking things. Or what do you mean it's a cartoon? It's not real anime. Is it because it's popular? Like, was that a hipster response?
Probably.
Chris, was that a hipster response?
Probably, because it's fucking anime.
That's what I thought. I was like, I mean, does it? And these motherfuckers are walking around with Naruto hats. Like, you're watching Dragon Ball Z, but ninjas. Like, what are you yelling at me for?
No.
Yeah.
It's wizard ninjas.
I'm sorry, Dragon Ball Z with wizard ninjas. Sorry.
Did you? They were supposed to be wizards and not ninjas.
They were supposed to be wizards? That did not come across at all. What with their kunai knives and ninja moves and the fact that he wanted to be a Hokage. It's all ninja terminology. All right, fine. He wanted to be a wizard Dragon Ball Z. Whatever. That's stupid as shit. That makes me like it even less.
Okay, so I have I think 1, maybe 2 questions for you guys before we end this episode. Do you guys have a favorite childhood like Christmas memory?
I have a messed up one. It is my favorite, but it's messed up.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
All right. So when I was little, when I was little, we used to live with my grandparents. And Jordan, you remember how much I loved my grandfather.
I do.
You're going to wonder why after I tell this story. So I come downstairs Christmas morning, and the way we do Santa's presents in my house was that we had the presents. It had the tag had my name, but it didn't say anything after that. It was just to Alec, to Alec, to Alec, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that way I knew it was from Santa.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I can read. Okay. When I tell you this story, I got upset because I'm stupid.
Yes, you are.
So my grandfather, I'm showing him, I was like, look at how big this one is and this one. And he said, let me see that tag. And he said, oh, this is for me. I said, no, Grandpa, it says to Alec. He said, no, that's from you to me. That's why there's only one name on it. Now, I'm getting ready to go into middle school. Let's see, 9/11 had just happened that year.
Okay.
So, well, maybe fourth grade. Not middle school, but fourth grade. I was in fourth grade when this happened. Man, this is a long time ago. So I am like, no, that can't be true. And I'm looking. I've just accepted what my grandfather has told me.
Right.
Haven't thought about the years of tradition that we've gone through already with this. So I look and they're all to Alec, to Alec, to Alec, to Alec, to Alec. And I'm like, oh my God, I got nothing for Christmas. And I walked over to our steps that led up to my bedroom and sat on the bottom one and just cried until my mom came to get me and said, what's wrong? And I said, I didn't get nothing for Christmas. It's all for Grandpa. And Grandpa every year would tell that story afterwards because it was the best thing he's ever done to his grandson.
That's incredible. I love that. That's amazing. That's some shit I would have done. That's really good.
Your turn.
What you got, Chris?
Okay, so I'm not gonna beat that, but this is the X-Men cartoon is nostalgia for me for this.
Okay.
Like for Christmas and stuff. It was the VHS tape of Night at the Sentinels. We had that, and we would play that like
Very
on
nice.
Christmas Eve and stuff. Yeah, that's my Christmas memory. Is watching that VHS tape of Night at the Sentinels.
Do you remember X-Men Next Dimension?
Yes.
Oh, I remember X-Men.
Yeah.
The fight game. Oh man, they need to remaster that. That was such a fun game.
That would be cool. That would be really good. They just need a good new X-Men game.
Well, they're getting ready to have one with that Wolverine. That shit looks good.
It does look really good.
It looks amazing.
Yeah, that teaser trailer looked so good. That's gonna be, and just the way that they've been doing their Spider-Man games. It gives me high hopes. So
indestructible environments.
Am I wrong? Didn't Insomniac? Didn't they do the only Deadpool game?
I don't
know.
No, I don't think that was them.
No.
That game was fun. I enjoyed that game.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Oh, so I listen to like audio plays and stuff.
Yeah.
I was listening to a Deadpool audio play that I swear nailed Deadpool. I mean, nailed Deadpool. I was laughing because it was actually funny. Like it was funny as shit.
What is it?
Oh, let me find it. Hold on, because I kept it.
Well, while you're looking, I'll tell you my Christmas memory. Usually, so when I was a kid, we would go to the Lake Forest Mall, and we would go, like, my parents would take us to see Santa and stuff like that. And every year, you got a book. It was an illustrated book, not exactly like a comic book, but just like a kid's book. And every year, I look forward to getting those books. Like, they were always just so much fun. They just made me feel good as a kid. Like, if I wasn't feeling super like Christmassy or something, like that was the thing that would get me back in the holiday spirit and stuff like that. So that's actually something to this day, I still like think about. And I miss that. It was just like one of those like childhood, like wonder things. And I think probably what helped me like start like reading a lot as a kid. So there's a kitty.
There's that kitty.
Kitty, is it Calypso?
Yep.
What's up, Kitty?
See, I Calypso.
Hi. So yeah, that's mine. I'm sure I have others, but yeah, that was a thing. There's a kitty. Hi, Kitty.
What was like the worst thing that you had to go through Christmas wise? Like what's the worst Christmas you've had to deal with?
The worst Christmas, probably the first Christmas my parents were apart, because we had to kind of figure out how to get around that. And at the time, I was not too keen on spending time with my dad, so I don't even know if I saw him that year. So that was probably the hardest one for me.
I think my hardest year was my first year away from home, because the first year, because that was the first time I'd ever been on my own. I'm at preaching school, which, calm down, everybody. Yes, it happened. Take a chill pill. I was at my first year of preaching school. I didn't have any family. Everybody was leaving, but I couldn't afford to go home. So I stayed in my dormitories until one of my friends came to get me, like as an afterthought, to spend Christmas with his family. But I also like felt off because they didn't have any presents for me.
Right.
So it was clear I wasn't a plan. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So it was a Christmas of feeling like I was a hindrance on some fun, which I know I never am. But it's one of those things where I was like, ugh.
Yeah,
Chris?
I get that. I wouldn't have even gone like, nah, I'd rather be here by myself than be around people I don't know.
Well, I knew these people. It's
right.
just that, they didn't expect me to not have somewhere to go.
Right. Fair enough.
Chris, what about you? What's your worst Christmas?
I've been thinking about it. I guess the military Christmases, just stuck in the barracks room.
Like they didn't do anything?
No, I was just basically by myself. Just no friends or family.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's how suicides start.
I
can't use that.
Well, looks like you got some editing to do.
Oh, jeez. I mean, he's
you
not
didn't
wrong.
have anything else to do.
Well, if you were having trouble, call suicide hotline.
Yeah, we
make
but, do the thing.
Do the thing.
What is the suicide hotline number now? It's only like one or two numbers, like two or maybe three numbers now. It's not even like a whole ass number anymore.
It's not?
No, they updated it. I think to make it easier, even though now I can't remember what it is.
I think if you're contemplating suicide, you should just remove yourself from your location. Go somewhere where nobody knows you.
It's 988. So yeah, we're gonna throw that in there. 988 suicide hotline.
Do you know how to edit numbers into a video?
Huh?
Do you know how to edit numbers into a video?
I can probably figure it out. If not, then
if they can't, honestly, guys, if you can't get three numbers, I don't want to say what I was about to say.
And now it's in my browser history. So yeah, work is because it's my work laptop. So they're gonna be like, oh, that's interesting. Like, don't worry, it was research.
It was research on
I forgot the numbers.
That's what it was. He said, listen, it's research. If I ever want to off myself, I need these numbers.
I need to know these numbers. Everybody
It's
should.
very important. My life is fragile, you know.
All
right, now, best Christmas I've ever had, I think is going to be this year. And here's why. We did get help with presents.
Okay.
But we didn't need help with presents, which is why I think it's going to be the best year, because we've always needed help each Christmas to get stuff for our kids, because we're always struggling. Either I didn't have a job or Julia had a job, but our bills were too high. You know, it's one of those things. But now I have 2 jobs, and we were like, let's just go crazy. We'll deal with the issues later.
Mm-hmm.
And I got Ryan a gaming chair.
Oh, cool.
A headset. LED lights for his game room. His dad got him a desk.
Nice.
Jacob has a whole bunch of modeling clay because he's more artistic than he is visual, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we got him modeling clay and modeling wire and you know, some game stuff too. And the baby is set for life on toys he doesn't ever need anymore.
That's good.
So this year I think is going to be the best, just because as a parent I didn't need help. I'm talking a lot about being a parent. I'm enjoying it more.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good feeling when you can do that and it doesn't like weigh too hard on you. Because honestly, that's kind of how it's been for us this year. Like we actually have the money to get stuff, and thankfully Jen and I are only doing stockings for each other, since we'd rather put more of our money toward like a weekend away or something. So that's kind of
is her stocking going to have a certain jewelry item?
No.
Why won't you marry this woman? She's perfect.
I know she is. I don't have to marry her to get that point across.
Homie, I get $10,000 in returns and I barely work.
It's the only like positive thing about it.
Do you know, first of all, it's not the only positive thing. You have someone that you can fully just be one with.
I have that now.
Yeah, you think you do.
No, I know I do.
No, you think it. You know how I know you think it? Because it's in your brain, which means it's a thought process.
Oh,
so you're meaning literally?
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally and metaphorically.
Come on, Chris, tell him he's wrong about marriage. It's actually pretty decent.
What? He's like, eh?
He's been married too long. You can't listen to him. He's been married for 14 years.
Yeah, that's fair.
To Sarah, who
now he's counting.
Constantly lets jokes go over her head. I know that's hard to live with, because I used to tell her jokes and she'd be like, huh? And I'd be like, oh my God, Sarah, is she there? Can she hear me?
Can she hear me?
She's dead.
You'll know, she busts in the door.
She wouldn't even bust in the door. She'd still be like, he's right. I don't get his jokes.
So I'm gonna pitch to you guys a Hallmark Not So Super Dudes Christmas special. What do you think?
Hallmark Not So Super. Like, what do you want to do?
I don't know, like a movie.
Oh wait, is that the title?
I mean, it doesn't have to be. No, that's not the title for this. I was like, I had a thought the other day. I was like, how funny would it be if we made a movie, like a Christmas special movie, but it was like Hallmark style, because of the way we do our podcast. But like, this would be just completely like almost the opposite.
What we could do. Oh, this would be fun. All right. So in classic Hallmark holiday special fashion, we'd all be dating each other's woman, right? So like, hold on. Go with me here. Okay. Chris, you would date Julia. I would date Jordan's girlfriend, right? Just stay with me. Jordan, you would date Sarah. Now, our girlfriends have never met. They've never met their partner's friends, right? We all come together one Christmas, and through weird circumstances, we all get split up with the partners that we have now. So the people that we have now are the people that go on whatever weird journey we send them on. And at the end of the movie, and then at the end of the movie, we all talk and realize we've been with the wrong people, and we just like switch them.
This sounds more like porn than anything else.
No, it's not. There's nothing sexual.
Because my thought process was like it would be interesting
all the story I have right now is that's all the story I have is that we start out with the wrong women and we end up with the right women. The women start out with the wrong men and end up with the right men. That's the hallmark.
Well, my thought was something
that's more along the lines of Hallmark.
Yeah.
What you just said.
I've watched Hallmark movies.
Maybe Hallmark wasn't the right word I was going for. My thought was more like, because the three of us are kind of in our own separate areas, it would be like starting off like how we are now doing a podcast episode, and then essentially catching the separate lives of us, like doing our thing, and like, you as a parent, Alec, and like, the good stuff, but also the depressing stuff. And then Chris, you're working every fucking day of your life and just trying to, do the things that you love. So
motherfucker, you have one day off a week. What are you talking about? Chris working every day of his life. I had to beg you to take Tuesday off.
I have 2 days off now, though. If we end up moving, I'll probably have to get a second job again. So,
are you're planning on moving?
I mean, we want to move into a bigger place. So we're looking at like townhouses.
Why? To accommodate your cats?
Well, to accommodate everything is. I mean, I like our place. It's just.
Are you getting bigger?
No, but I
would.
Are
you outgrowing
like a dog? And we
put down the hoagie.
Sounds like you got the apartment.
I don't know. It was a thought I had. I was throwing that out there. Be something fun for maybe next year.
I mean, I think that would be like a good like structural show.
Yeah.
But you said Hallmark, and I was like, I've got the perfect idea. We make it a romantic comedy.
That was not at all what I was thinking.
No, we need to make a show where we're all high.
Now this is what I'm thinking. For our next anniversary, we do a drunk as shit. Not so super dudes.
Okay, just not so super dudes drunk edition.
I will drink, which is
strange.
I don't do that.
Fuck it.
But we'll get plastered. And what if? Okay. Here's what we do. Oh my God. Okay, you ready? This is brilliant. Everybody listen and get excited, even the audience. So, our next anniversary, we look up right now what day it's going to be. We put into our respective jobs, this day we have to take off. All right? We video conference like this, but we do a live watch party for a comic book movie. We can even do the ones that are like not like we can do the 1990s Captain America movie.
Okay.
Or Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie or something like that. Something that probably like won't get flagged.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. We could YouTube live that. Or Facebook live. We could YouTube live that.
Yeah, and you wouldn't get flagged for stuff like that. Like you can do watch parties and stuff for just about anything.
Yeah, but who wants to sit and watch people enjoy a movie? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not watching people going, oh.
There's actually people that do that.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. I want to watch something terrible that is so terrible, it's amazing.
Mystery Science. We could Mystery Science Theater 3000.
That's what I'm saying. We do that. for but we're
I
drunk
am
doing it.
down for this. I've been wanting to do something like that.
Oh,
What do you think, Jordan?
Let's plan. Yeah, let's plan on it. Let's do
All
it.
right. Listen
Yeah.
up, not so super dudes and dudettes. In October of 2024, we are going to slam alcohol and watch a terrible comic book movie. Join us, won't you?
Won't you?
Won't you?
And on that note, we're going to end this very special holiday episode. Guys, it was very nice getting to talk with the both of you. We haven't done episodes like this in a while. So,
Yeah, we keep saying we're going to, and then you tell us you're too tired.
Live.
I know. Well, between that and work and shit.
Well, now we're going to have even less opportunity with 2 jobs that I got. So we got
to make it happen.
We got to, the day we say we're going to do it, we should do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you?
I do. I'm the one that said we should do it Tuesday, and then everybody was like, "Well, you couldn't do it."
No. Tuesday was the original day. You told us you had to do it tomorrow, which was a Wednesday, and I had doctor's appointments I had to go to.
Oh, I thought I messaged you guys saying we could do it Tuesday. I was just out getting my oil changed and shit.
You said you could not do it Tuesday.
I don't remember that.
Was
I already drunk? No, I didn't drink that. I didn't drink
that.
Drunk?
You probably were.
Maybe.
That's what having no responsibility outside yourself is.
Yeah.
It's
nice. It's freeing.
I can't wait. In a year's time, I'm going to get drunk and watch a terrible movie.
That's always a fun time.
All right, so it's a toss-up. I think we should either do Lundgren, Punisher,
okay,
Captain America in the early 90s to late 80s. I'm not sure which. Or the Eric Bana Hulk movie.
Oh, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put it up in a poll, and
that's what I'm saying.
Have listeners decide what we're gonna watch. So we're gonna do that as we get closer to the anniversary. We got some time to work on that, but yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Oh, hey, I was thinking while I have you boys here, what do you think of the fact that they're moving away from Jonathan Edwards now?
You mean Majors?
Majors, yeah. John Edwards. Speaking your brain.
I'm not mad about it. They're talking about just recasting him. I mean, I think they just should push past it and just go into Doom.
I agree.
Well, see, now I would agree with you, with the exception that I need to know what Loki's doing on that front.
I think Loki is done. I think
is he done? Is he gone?
Season 2 was the end of Loki.
So wait, what is he? Just the time?
Essentially, he's now God Loki.
But he was always God Loki.
He was, but I guess now he's the one rolling over the timeline. So
I wish they would have at least let Thor know he was alive.
I kind of wish there was some kind of reunion in that aspect too, which there might still be eventually they got to end his story. So, I can see them reuniting at some point.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They're doing a Thor 5, aren't they?
They are, but I know Taika's not going to be a part of it.
No, he said that the only reason he did that move, Ragnarok, was for a paycheck.
Yeah. He did say that.
How was that movie so good? But it was
I don't know if he put no effort into it. It was really well fucking done.
Because while I don't fully understand all the hate, love, and thunder got, I do understand a good bit of it.
Yeah.
Because, Thor Ragnarok worked because the entire movie was not meant to be serious.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of this movie is that, yeah, it has serious bits in it, but it's not meant to be serious.
Right.
But then you have, you can't just jump into a shed. But then you have Gore the God Butcher. You need less hijinks and more story, man,
Yeah.
for that one. So I can understand. I still thought it was a fun movie.
Yeah.
And I
thought
like the
same.
fact that Thor got to be a parent, but I
Mhm.
do think it's weird what they did.
I agree.
But I long ago divorced this from the comics. Like
Oh yeah.
forever ago that they even said, yeah, just pretend like it's its own little universe inside the comic verse. Okay.
I can
Not
do
a
that.
problem. I can do that, whatever you want to do.
All right, guys. My computer's about to die, so
Yes,
I
sir.
gotta get out of here. But this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to our guests that sent us their audio files and wanted to make an appearance in our holiday special. You guys got anything you want to say before we end this wonderful episode?
I'm good.
You're good,
Yeah.
Alec?
Merry Christmas, and don't forget to listen to Ghosted in West Virginia around Christmas.
There you go. Yeah.
Woo!
Happy holidays, guys. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And